There was a time when everything looked fine on the outside. My job was stable. My relationships seemed okay. I got enough sleep, ate well, worked out sometimes. And yet something inside me constantly felt off. I'd wake up with tension in my shoulders, headaches that came out of nowhere, a tightness in my chest I couldn't explain. I felt tired, but it wasn't just physical. It was like I was carrying something heavy. But I couldn't figure out what it was. I remember telling myself, maybe it's just stress, maybe I'm overthinking, maybe I just need a break. But even during vacations, it was still there. The fatigue, the aches. That dull sense of unrest. And the scariest part, I couldn't point to a single reason why I felt this way. There were no bruises, no fevers, no tests showing anything wrong. That's when a thought hit me. What if this isn't about my body being sick? What if it's about my emotions being buried? What if the real illness was unspoken pain I never gave myself permission to feel? That was the beginning of my wake-up call. And in this video, I want to share what I discovered about how repressed emotions can quietly break you from the inside out. I used to think emotions were optional, that as long as I looked strong and kept moving forward, I was fine. But over time, I started realizing my body had been carrying every emotion I refused to deal with. I never really had the space to be vulnerable. When I was a kid, showing sadness felt dangerous. When I was angry, I was told to calm down. When I cried, I was asked to toughen up. So I did. I shut it all down. I became the master of appearing okay, even when I was. I learned how to smile when I wanted to scream, how to keep working when my chest felt like it was caving in, how to say, "I'm good," when I felt like I was breaking. But what I didn't know was this: emotions that aren't expressed don't just disappear. They settle into your muscles, your gut, your immune system, your nervous system, and one day they start leaking through the cracks, a backache that won't go away, a stomach that flips for no reason, a constant tightness in your throat, a wave of tiredness that sleep can't fix. That was me. My body had become the storage unit for everything I couldn't say, all the hurt I minimized, all the anxiety I swallowed, all the grief I ignored. I didn't need more medicine. I needed to feel what I'd spent years running from, and that's when I started noticing the patterns. The signs that my repressed emotions weren't just inside me. They were hurting me. Once I began paying attention to my body, the truth became impossible to ignore. What I thought were random physical symptoms were actually emotional messages I hadn't listened to for years. Here are 5 signs I now know were my body's way of screaming what I wouldn't say out loud. 1. Persistent aches and pains. It started with tension in my neck and shoulders. Then came headaches. Then lower back pain. There was no injury. Nothing visible, but it hurt every day. What I didn't know is that chronic stress and emotional suppression can literally cause your muscles to tighten for hours, even days. My pain wasn't random. It was repressed tension stored in my body. 2. Getting sick all the time. I'd catch colds constantly. I was the sick friend in every group. But here's the truth: when you're emotionally overwhelmed and never release it, your body stays in fight or flight mode. That weakens your immune system. You can't fight off real illness if your body thinks you're always in danger. 3. Digestive issues. For years, my stomach felt like a war zone. Bloating, nausea, acid reflux. Sometimes I couldn't eat. Other times, I overate just to feel comfort. Later, I learned the gut is deeply connected to your emotional state. Fear, guilt, anxiety, shame. They all get processed through your digestive system if you never allow yourself to feel them consciously. 4. Fatigue that never ends. I could sleep 8 hours and still wake up exhausted. I tried caffeine, exercise, even took time off. Nothing worked because it wasn't physical exhaustion, it was emotional exhaustion. It's draining to constantly pretend you're okay, to keep smiling when your heart's heavy. That kind of fatigue seeps into your bones. 5. Insomnia or oversleeping. Some nights I couldn't fall asleep. My mind raced, my chest felt tight. Other days I slept for 10 hours and still couldn't get out of bed. Both were symptoms of emotional dysregulation. My body didn't know when it was safe to rest, because it had forgotten what safety even felt like. Looking back now, I understand. My body wasn't betraying me. It was trying to protect me, trying to say what I wouldn't, trying to process pain I had never given myself permission to feel. And once I realized this, healing didn't seem so far away anymore. Once I understood that my body was holding onto the pain I never faced, I knew I couldn't keep ignoring it. Healing didn't mean I had to fix everything overnight. It started with small, intentional steps. Habits that taught me how to feel again. Here are the 4 that changed everything for me. 1. I paused and checked in. Just once a day, I stopped whatever I was doing and asked myself, what am I feeling right now? Not what I should feel, not what I want to feel, but what was actually there. Sometimes the answer was silence. Sometimes it was sadness, anger, or confusion, but naming it was the first step toward freeing it. 2. I wrote it out. I started journaling, not in perfect sentences, not for anyone to read, just messy, honest words. It gave my feelings a place to land, outside of my head, outside of my body. And somehow, by writing it out, I stopped carrying it so tightly inside. 3. I moved my body gently. No intense workouts, no pressure. Sometimes it was stretching. Sometimes a quiet walk with music that understood me. Movement helped me release what words couldn't, because emotions live in the body, and the body needs a way to let them go. 4. I stopped healing alone. This was the hardest one. I found someone I could talk to, a therapist. A support group, a safe friend, not someone who would fix me, but someone who would listen, someone who could hold space for the parts of me I had buried. These habits didn't cure me overnight, but they gave me something I hadn't felt in years. Permission. Permission to feel. Permission to be soft. Permission to be human again. And when you stop fighting your feelings, your body stops fighting itself. I used to think something was wrong with me, that I was weak for always feeling tired, broken for always feeling heavy, but I wasn't broken. I was just full of feelings I never got to express, all the sadness I pushed down. All the fear I tried to hide, all the hurt I pretended didn't matter. It didn't disappear. It lived in my body. It shaped my posture. It hijacked my energy. It interrupted my sleep. But now I see it differently. My body wasn't failing me. It was speaking for me. It was trying to protect me. And maybe yours is too. Maybe those aches, that tiredness, that fog. They're not just symptoms. They're signals. Signals that it's time to listen. Not to push harder, but to soften, to feel, to let go. You're not too sensitive. You're not making it up. You're not weak for needing space to feel. You're human, and your body remembers what your mind tried to forget. So take a breath. Check in with yourself. Feel what you've been holding, because what you feel, you can heal. And healing doesn't begin with medicine. It begins with permission. If any of this resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Which sign did your body show you first? And if you're ready to feel again, like and subscribe to High Day Psych. We'll be here, helping you turn pain into power, one breath at a time.